Magnus spends half of his remaining time, hesitates, plays knight to d7, knocks over his queen. Knight d7 hits the queen, it falls over, he picks the queen up, he presses the clock. White has immense pressure and black has 20 seconds on the clock. Rook e8, Magnus finds the only defensive move, queen c6. The white queen needs to hang out here. It has to stay here. Black will go here, white needs to commit to the attack. Nodirbek says, with no queens on the board, I'm chilling because I'm probably just gonna win my pawn back and the position's gonna be equal. Rook e6, rook c6, knight f6, knight d2. Now this is our position. This is what we have to work with. 20 seconds on the clock. May the games begin. Rook c6. h5, Magnus solid, 12 seconds to 18 seconds. Nodirbek goes immediately after the knight, but that's not a good move because the knight goes to the middle. And now white needs to play f6, because if you don't play f6, he plays f6. Nodirbek hovers over his bishop, suddenly realizing knight e7 is coming, and you cannot stop it. What's funny is, you could have stopped it, but you had to do it with bishop e6 and bishop e3 and rook e6. It had to be a very specific coordination of pieces, or maybe a knight d6 in there to go after knight e7, and suddenly Magnus is a pawn up. Pawn up. The thing that we have seen all day, an endgame scramble against the best endgame player of all time. He's gonna threaten you with a knight trade. He's gonna threaten you with a king trade. With a rook trade or a bishop trade. He's gonna walk in with his king. The king walks up the entire length of the board. Rook a2, should you trade the bishops? Probably not, he doesn't trade the bishops. Should you trade the rooks? Probably not, but I think it's actually a draw, but he trades the rooks and he actually pressed the clock while knocking over Magnus's pieces. It's a draw here, but you gotta be really, really accurate. You gotta be really accurate because you're gonna put all his pawns on the line squares. And he blunders. And there is a ghost move here that wins the game for black. What you had to play here with white was bishop g7. You had to maintain pressure on this bishop, so this bishop can never move. And if e3, you're always taking and putting the king on g2. That's the drawing setup. This pawn gets traded, this king goes here. Bishop c1, and Magnus, in 2 seconds, finds the only winning resource. e3, the crushing pawn move. 2 days of chess. 30 rounds of chess, pawn to e3, you cannot take it with the pawn because you lose this and this, you cannot take it with the bishop because you lose this anyway, and ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you the 20-time champion of the world, Magnus freaking Carlsen, wins the Rapid, wins the Blitz.